but a lot of very, very late goals. Is that the kind of thing that makes you think, maybe this could be our year?
Honestly, we don't think about that, because if you think 1 month and a half ago we was 10 points behind Barcelona, so everything changed so fast. You need to go game by game, because season is large. There is a lot of points in the game. We are competing with two huge teams and another teams behind as well, so it's going to be difficult. Especially the second part of the season is always more difficult, because there are teams fighting to stay in the first division, there are teams fighting for Europe, so every game is going to be important. We need to go game by game till the end, and hopefully we can stay on the place we are right now.
FC Barcelona, they played a really good game, but they still ended up losing. How did all this happen? Let's take a closer look. So Barcelona had 19 shots and 7 on target. Atletico had just 5 and 4 on target, out of which they scored 2, and they ended up winning the game. So if you look at the lineups, we got Peña in goal, Alejandro Balde, Inigo, Cubarsí, Jules Koundé. We got Pedri and Casado as the double pivot, and Fermin Lopez was the starter. Gavi behind the striker, Raphinha here, and Lewandowski over here. They started Fermin Lopez because Lamine was injured, and that's why Raphinha was playing out on this side, and that's why Fermin Lopez was on the left. If we look at Atletico Madrid, they had Oblak in goal, Llorente, Jimenez, Longley, Javi Galan, Simeone, Rodrigo de Paul, Barrios, Conor Gallagher, Antoine Griezmann, and Julian Alvarez. So Barca were in a 4-2-3-1, attacking on this side, and Atletico were a 4-4-2, attacking on this side. When Barcelona were attacking, they were actually in a 4-3-3. So we have this over here, Casado over here. Pedri was moving up the space over here, and he was the guy who was playing these half spaces over here. Gavi, dropping over here. So this is how Barcelona were attacking. So it was mostly a 4-3-3. When they were defending, it was a 4-2-4 off the ball. But they had a lot of high press, and so they weren't allowing Atletico Madrid to build up. If you look at how Barcelona created, this is how high the game was being played, with all Barcelona players inside the box as well as Atletico Madrid players. This is where most of the game was going on, right inside the penalty box. And so, Barcelona, if they got the ball over here to one of these players, tuck it out wide to Raphinha would dribble and make that shot. Atletico's key player of the game was Jan Oblak. If you look at this progression, again, a lot of players inside the box, but so we have these two guys of Atletico marking Alejandro Balde. This guy's marking this guy Fermin over here, and then we got this box of 4. So this guy's marking him, and these 4 players, they're basically this is the fortress that Diego Simeone made inside the box. And so when Alejandro Balde, so what Barcelona's strategy was that they were playing too many crosses, because the central lanes were difficult to reach because of Atletico's very deep and compact 4-4-2, which obviously sometimes became a back 5, even a back 6. So what Barcelona were doing was that they were playing relying on a lot of crosses, and the crosses just weren't here or here. They were basically all the way to the far post. And so, either Raphinha would get them or this guy would get them, and the midfielder. And so, again, we saw Alejandro Balde with a cross with Inigo Martinez as well. Far post shot. Inigo Martinez was all the way up here. And then the same thing and another save. If you look at the next progression, we have 5 Barcelona guys inside the box, and we have 10 Atletico guys inside this box over here. So Raphinha plays the ball to Pedri. Pedri plays it back to Raphinha, and then Raphinha makes this far post cross again, and again, it doesn't lead to a goal. So this is what was basically happening in the first half. Fine, Barcelona had a very good counter press, so they weren't allowing Atletico to build up at all. The only chances they had, sometimes, long balls here and here, they didn't lead to anything. And Barcelona, they kept the ball in this part of the pitch most of the game in the first half. It was looking like Barcelona was really, really dominant. They were playing a really, really good game. But as seen later on in the game, that Atletico just needed a few chances and that they could finish them. And so let's look at how they actually ended up breaching Barcelona's lines. So in Barcelona's goal, Atletico were in this 4-4-2, and Pedri starts the dribble from here, and Gavi moves inside. And so when Pedri makes this dribble and passes it to Pedri, it gets deflected off Gavi, and then Pedri moves inside and ends up making this shot. It was a deflection. Lucky, fine, they didn't intend that. But it was a great progression, and Barcelona should rely more on these progressions. This shouldn't happen by accident. This was one of their, out of all the crosses they were doing, this was one of their first ones where they actually went inside. Pedri dribbled between these two players, and then he passed it over here. Fine, it wasn't intended to come back to Pedri, but it accidentally did, and then I think it even hit Llorente. It ended up being a goal. And the thing is that Barcelona should be attempting more of these inside progressive carries and then link ups between two players, 1, 2. They should be doing that a lot more. And that was one of the things that led to a goal. And so it's these inside, on the floor stuff that is going to lead to a goal rather than trying to shoot on the corner. In the second half, Barcelona relied more on transitions because Atletico were now playing much higher, and so when we have Raphinha here and Pedri here, Barcelona were attempting a lot of long balls, and so we saw that we saw a brilliant whole number of transitions. And so Raphinha gets the ball, he's got the pace, he knows how to make those runs, and he dribbles it, and then from over here he shoots it over Oblak. Very unlucky. Barcelona hit the crossbar. Lewandowski got it on the rebound, but couldn't connect, and so Barcelona were unlucky. In Atletico's first goal, it was a counterattack. Barcelona had these two guys at the halfway line, and then there were the two players over here. So Conor Gallagher gets the pass over here. He turns it around, makes this pass, and we have Julian Alvarez running. And so once this run happened, Barcelona players, they made a dash, but there was a huge gap over here, and we could tell that this is going to be a successful counterattack the moment it started. It was a really good link up between Gallagher and Julian Alvarez, and from over here, Alvarez, he made this cross inside. The Barcelona players got back at the time, and they made a back flick. And over here, you had Rodrigo de Paul coming in, and and because everybody was here around at this point in time, they were late, but they were here inside the box, and so this space was open up, and Rodrigo de Paul got the ball. It was an open shot for him, went in the corner of the net. Brilliant goal by Atletico. Barcelona made the substitutions. Dani Olmo came on, so did Ferran Torres, and we see over here Pedri. He made this run, and again, when you have Olmo, obviously things are going to happen through the center rather than on the sides, and so Olmo gets this ball. He gets Pedri's run, and Pedri gets the ball. It was a brilliant chance, but then again, saved by Oblak. So that is why Oblak was the most important player for Atletico Madrid. Fine, Barcelona were unlucky, but if that earlier deflected goal did not happen, Barcelona would have ended up not scoring. And that is why it is very important to have a top goalkeeper if you want to win cups, tournaments, or leagues. And that is why Atletico now are at the top of La Liga. Barcelona at one point were 10 points ahead of them, but that is not the case anymore. Atletico are technically fine. In reality, they're 3 points ahead, but because Atletico have one more game in hand, and because they're winning these late games, they're making these late winners, they are technically 6 points ahead of Barcelona. And so if Real Madrid win tonight, Barcelona are going to end up third at the halfway point of the season. Okay, in Atletico's second goal, what happens is that Barcelona set up this offside trap that if a team is attacking with forwards, Barcelona have the offside trap set up really well, because there's a player over here. But what happens is that Molina makes this run from inside, from behind, and that is the key to breaking that offside trap. Once Molina, he gets the ball, he dribbles it, and then he makes that cross over here, and we see this guy over here, Sorloth, coming in. Fine, Barcelona had two players, but the cross was really good, well timed, like Mohamed Salah does, and easy goal. So Atletico didn't need that many chances, and they just had to break Barcelona's offside trap. And once Molina, making that deep run, got the pass, and and we saw this against Barcelona versus Dortmund as well. That when Pascal Gross, he made that deeper run, the offside trap got broken. So that is one way to break Barcelona's offside trap. So if you have this trap over here and all the attackers are here, have one of the deeper guys make that run, pass it to him, and then that offside trap is broken. And because Barcelona do not have Ronald Araujo right now, and I also think they need a DM who can actually come back as well, who's good with the defense. So if they have speed back here, like the way Liverpool does it, and so the defenders have to get back if that offside trap is broken and stop those chances. And then also fine, Inaki Peña, he's having a great season and all that. But if you look at a top goalkeeper like Courtois, like fine, Manuel Neuer, he's not that, the age factor has kicked in and everything. But Oblak, the way Liverpool and all these guys are doing. And so if you have that top, shot stopper, that will also help.